on to you, crabs. You have the Fool. Hopefully, y'all are having a great day. You have the Fool, the Hierophant, and the Ten of Wands. So, for you, crabs, y'all are in a specific position where, and stay tuned to the end too, because I have some real serious things that I really have to say at the end or towards the ending of the video. But for you, crabs, you have the Fool, the Hierophant, and the Ten of Wands. So these three cards for you, you crabs being a lot more brave when it comes to getting to know other people, a lot less closed off. You crabs basically can end up being a zodiac sign that can be very closed off, very silent, and with good reason, right? You don't want people all up in your personal information. They shouldn't have so much information unless you wanted them to get the information, especially in today's world where information is used against people as a way to force people to do things they don't want to do, right? So you crabs definitely have the right idea. However, if you want people to understand you and to gain some form of connection to you, you will have to start opening up. And so you crabs are learning how to be a lot more brave, right? Don't share anything that you're not willing to allow people to say back to you that you don't feel good, or you don't feel unashamed of saying, like I've talked about this before about how it is that, I'm very quick-witted with my words, and I'll say certain things that are like zingers or like jokes that can end up being hurtful. And I said that I'm gonna stop doing it, and I have. I'm working on that right now to where I'm not saying it at all. When it comes to using the B word, I still say it, but I definitely do not say it far as much as I used to. And I understood why it is that I say it in the first place. I said it and I say it because I'm essentially trying to make a distinction between someone who is a decent person and someone who is just dysfunctional, But there is definitely progress. But you crabs are going to have to definitely open up, because the Hierophant and the Ten of Wands speaks to, you understand that if you don't, you crabs understand that if you don't open up, no one will ever really get to know you. People won't get to know you. You won't get to know other people. So what exactly will be the point of you getting to know them, but then they don't know anything about you, right? And then some people will say, oh, that's great because they like you, right? But do they really like you though? Because they don't know anything about you. So it's the same thing as them having to project onto you what they think you are instead of them actually getting to know who and what you are for real. So the Wheel of Fortune and the Ten of Pentacles now represents how, since that's the case, excuse me, this is a particular situation where, you understand the importance of actually learning how to open up a little bit, because it's not so good, nor is it really healthy to be this closed off. Just as it is, I said before, you crabs understand that, we're living in a world where people, the power is information, right? Because we have a lot of very dysfunctional people running around, right? But at the same time, the Wheel of Fortune and the Ten of Pentacles also represents, but on the downside, if people don't actually get to know you, where will you be? Right? Where will you be? The Wheel of Fortune is you crabs. So where will you crabs actually be though? You'll always find yourselves in relationships and connections with people, friendships, romantic relationships, even family memberships. where they only have to assume what you're like because they don't really know you like that, you know? I'm in the stages right now of getting to know my own. I'm in the stages right now of opening up to my own family members because I realized that my experiences and stuff like this were my experiences, and I'm so much to myself at one point, to the point where my own brothers and sisters, my own brothers and sister doesn't even know me like that. I'm telling you from firsthand experience. It's not a very good thing. Your family members should know you, you know, you know. So I'm into health and all of that. Yeah, for sure. But at the same time, let people know what it is that I like a little bit more. You know, have that kind of talk with them about what it is that I like a little bit more. Oh snap. Yeah, it's cold. What, you know, yeah, it's cold. But let people know what it is that I like a little bit more so that they do have a bit of an understanding about me, you know? And I will be letting them know more about me. Um, and it's a good thing too, because you build relationships, you build better quality relationships that way. You know, if you want people to be able to trust you, they have to trust you. They have to trust you based upon what you tell them about yourself. You understand what I'm saying? And so the thing is that the high priestess and the seven of wands speaks to how it is that and if someone comes to you from a perspective of them being, see, I said this before and I'm gonna say it again, too preoccupied with you, and you realize this, you're too preoccupied, you have been too preoccupied with uh um like getting to know, like you've been too preoccupied with what if a person uses that against you. And if you don't think that about yourself, then the cards are saying you're too preoccupied with it. So either one or two things is happening. Either you know this about yourself, or the cards is saying that you're too preoccupied with what if this person uses it against you. If they use it against you, you just leave them alone. Just cut them off from your life and you leave them alone because they can't harm you with it. They can't do damage with it, you know? And don't say anything to these people that's so terrible to the point where they can use it against you. You know, share what you're, like a person, like you understand, like a person who's willing to tell you stories about them that is embarrassing, where a person will like a person can change or morph how they see the person, right? Is a person that's giving you a lot of power. And in that case, keep them, keep that person close to you because that's a person that more than likely really is loyal to you, right? Because most people aren't doing that. But the answer to that is very easy to solve. Just don't tell them anything that is something that is so embarrassing or so not liked to the point where they know that other people will look at them differently and look at their brand, their overall body of work differently. Simple like that. You crabs don't have to run around and tell everybody every single thing. The Two of Wands and the Emperor and the Nine of Wands right here, yeah, represents how. So have fun. Go and have fun, right? Relax, enjoy yourself, do your thing. The Three of Wands, the Emperor, so you can put your mind at ease now, is what it's saying. You don't have to think, oh, because some of you crabs can be a little bit, you know, overthinking when it comes to that. Like, I know plenty of you crabs off camera, and like y'all will think about stuff like that, like protecting yourself, and it's like, you don't have to protect yourself if you don't tell anybody something that you wouldn't want to be used against you, right? Like, you don't have to say XYZ. You don't have to say these things. You don't have to let people find this out and that out about you. You don't have to. All it is that you need to do is just stay away from certain things from happening, or stay away from certain events from happening, basically. So the Nine of Wands. So the Nine of Wands is, so let's clarify the Nine of Wands, right? The Nine of Wands represents the apprehensiveness. That's what the Nine of Wands will represent, the apprehension. And the thing with you is that you have the Six of Wands, the Scorpio energy, Eight of Wands, the Magician, excuse me, and then you have the Strength card. So to clarify the Nine of Wands, which is the apprehension. So again, the Six of Wands, the Scorpio energy, the Eight of Wands, that apprehension, you're going to be challenged to get over that regardless within the next 1 to 6 months. You're going to get challenged to get over that, because the Magician and the Strength card, you are going to be in certain situations where if you crabs don't open up, then people who like you for real won't stand next to you. They won't be with you, because they'll think to themselves, you don't want to open up. They like you, but they're not going to try to step on your toes and step on your boundaries in order to get you to share. And they'll respect personal boundaries, and they'll leave you alone. And you crabs will understand, and then you crabs will know that they respect you because they respect your personal boundaries, but at the same time, they'll also step away from you because they see you as too much of a person who shut down. So you crabs have plenty of opportunities. And that's one of the things that you crabs actually bring to the table that a lot of people don't really know. The crabs actually is a socialite, just like Pisces, just like Virgo, just like Aquarius. You crabs are a socialite too. Y'all may not necessarily know so many people, but the people that you crabs do know can actually play a very pivotal role in a person's life. So you crabs may not know as many people as a Virgo or a Gemini, a Libra, or an Aquarius, right? But you will know a lot. You will know the people who, or a lot of the people who are this stature, that stature, that could really help people. But that's pretty much it. Anyway, so what it is that I really wanted to say, right? I just wanted to give y'all the reading first, was this online stuff. This is part of the reason why it is that I get at people online. I was actually speaking to somebody, and then I don't know if it was a bot NPC or if it was like a real, like a person. But I go to the person's profile, and it said, "Go get a job, loser," and it says, "You're a goofy." Now, those are the words and the terms that I use. So this is why it is I say, "Go get a job," and you're a goofy. I say that I call people goofies because their thought process is all over the place. And it doesn't make any sense, because you running around, because I don't see the value. Then the reason why it is that I say go get a job is because there is no value in calling yourself sitting, standing in front of a computer screen or a cell phone, right? Trying to scout the world, trying to figure out ways on how to take people's finances that they probably worked so hard for, calling yourselves entitled to take it from them. And then and then that person doesn't even actually do anything valuable with it. They just go to a club and blow it off. That's why I say that it's goofy. That's why I say go get a job. Because at the end of the day, all of these people do is just get arrested. Because all they want to do all day is just play stupid games with people's money. And how do these people get caught? You follow the money. Regardless of whether if it's physical dollars or if it's digital dollars, they all have a trace to them. They all can be traced. So it's stupid, goofy, because you might as well just go get a job for that. Because it's a lot of time being wasted on the person's part doing all this stupid stuff when they're being tracked by the FBI and all the other countries' governments too, trying to figure out who's doing this nonsense, right? And then not only that too, but you get some people, right, who do spiritual stuff, who literally go to individuals claiming to be tarot readers who don't even do who don't even offer tarot readings themselves, who's not even talking about tarot readings. So they're playing off of my personality, what I do, a bot or people. And this is why it is that I say that it's stupid, because stop doing that. And it's really goofy because to follow a person or a group of people around all over the web, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, wherever it is, Reddit, doing all this stuff, that's so much time being wasted for such little value. Because at the end of the day, what is a person going to do with all of that, with all of that time that they wasted? What exactly would they do with that? Because you can't go to the bank with that stuff. You can't cash that in. That's not redeemable for anything. And no matter how many times you say this, they just get goofier and goofier. I'm sitting up here, and no matter, I may say what's up to a couple of people from TikTok because I know them. You'll have some NPC bots or some people who I'm getting accustomed to, right? Or I'm acquainted to, who I know. They'll come in, talk trash to the people who there. And it's like, yo, whether it's a person or whether it's not, chat room flooded with bots or flooded with people who are keeping tabs. What are y'all keeping tabs for? I'll go ahead, pick up the phone. I'll say hello to some weird numbers or whatever the case may be. People just don't answer the phone, just static on the other line. What are these goofy people trying to do exactly? What is the end game to all of this? What is the point? What is the end game? What is the end game? What is the point? What is to be scored? What is the reward for all of this? So this is why it is that I say that it's all goofy, because this is a lot of time, a lot more time that is wasted getting other people mad and doing all this and doing all that, than to just go apply for a job, work at a 9-to-5 job, and actually get paid way more than doing this scouting the world from a computer and doing all this stuff. You're making legal money where the FBI and the IRS and all this stuff ain't looking for it, as long as you pay your taxes. Hold on.